The world can be a strange and unpredictable place, full of twists and turns that can take even the most prominent and respected individuals down a path of chaos and despair. Such is the case with the Murdaugh family of South Carolina, whose once idyllic lives were shattered by a series of scandals and tragedies that left the nation reeling. At the center of it all was Alex Murdaugh, a well-known and highly respected personal injury attorney from a prominent legal dynasty. But his life would soon take a dark turn, as a double murder in his family's home would lead to a stunning unraveling of secrets and lies that no one could have ever expected. The case of Alex Murdaugh is a complex and ever-evolving saga that has captivated the nation in recent months, and one that will continue to raise questions and spark debates for years to come. The Murdaugh family was well known in their community, with a reputation that preceded them. Hi guys, welcome back to Crimeco, where we break down some of the most gruesome true crime cases from all over the world, giving you the most up-to-date detailed information. If that sounds like something you are interested in, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to give this video a like. It really helps a lot. Thank you. Now let's dive in. Alex Murdaugh was a prominent lawyer, known for his work on high-profile cases and his connections to the South Carolina political establishment. His wife Margaret was a beloved figure in the community, known for her philanthropy and her dedication to her family. And their son Paul was a rising star in the legal world, with a bright future ahead of him. But on that fateful night in June 2021, everything changed. The news of Margaret and Paul's deaths sent shockwaves through the community, and people were left struggling to make sense of what had happened. As the investigation progressed, more details emerged about the Murdaugh family and their possible connections to the crime. Rumors swirled about infidelity, financial troubles, and even revenge plots, but nothing was confirmed. The case quickly became a national sensation, with news outlets across the country covering the latest developments and speculating on who might be responsible. People from all walks of life weighed in, from armchair detectives to legal experts to those who claimed to have inside knowledge of the case. Social media was abuzz with rumors and theories, and the public's fascination with the Murdaugh family only grew. As the investigation stretched on, it became clear that this was no ordinary murder case. The twists and turns of the investigation seemed to lead in every direction, with new information and possible suspects emerging on a regular basis. And through it all, the Murdaugh family remained at the center of the storm, their reputation and their legacy hanging in the balance. Today, the case remains unsolved, with many questions left unanswered. But one thing is certain: the Murdaugh family's idyllic world will never be the same. What started with the brutal slaying of Margaret and Paul Murdaugh in their South Carolina home has since become a complicated web of mystery, speculation, and unanswered questions. In the aftermath of the tragedy, the small community was left in shock and disbelief. The Murdaughs were a well-known and respected family, with a long history in the area. The sudden and violent loss of two family members left many wondering what could have led to such a horrific act. As the investigation into the murders unfolded, a series of unexpected events only added to the intrigue. Just 3 days after the double homicide, Randolph Murdaugh IE, the father of Alex Murdaugh, passed away at his home in Hampton County, South Carolina. Though not directly connected to the slayings, it only added to the growing mystery surrounding the family. Then, on June 14, 2021, a coroner's report revealed the horrific details of Margaret and Paul's deaths.
Attorney Alex Murdaugh tells the 911 dispatcher that his wife, 52-year-old Maggie, and son, 22-year-old Paul, are shot dead at their family property known as Moselle.
Both had suffered multiple gunshot wounds, and the estimated time of death was between 9:00 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. The timeline of events was beginning to take shape, but there were still more questions than answers. And then, on September 4, 2021, Another shocking event rocked the small community. Alex Murdaugh was injured in a roadside shooting in Hampton County. According to reports, his black Mercedes-Benz SUV had a flat tire, and he pulled over to the side of the road. A pickup truck passed by, turned around, and someone inside opened fire. The incident raised even more questions about the Murdaugh family and the events leading up to the tragic deaths of Margaret and Paul. As the investigation continues, more details have emerged about the Murdaugh family's history and connections in the legal and political worlds of South Carolina. The case has garnered national attention and sparked widespread speculation about what really happened to the Murdaughs and who may be responsible. Despite the ongoing investigation, the truth behind this tragic case remains shrouded in mystery, leaving many to wonder if the full story will ever be known. As the case continued to unravel, rumors and speculation ran rampant. What was the motive behind the double homicide and the subsequent events? Was there a larger conspiracy at play, or was it all just a tragic series of events? The public was left with more questions than answers. Despite the ongoing investigation, the Murdaugh family remained under scrutiny, and the media frenzy surrounding the case showed no signs of slowing down. Many were left wondering what other secrets might come to light in the coming weeks and months. As the news of Murdaugh's surrender broke, it only added to the intrigue surrounding the case. What had led him to allegedly conspire to fake his own death? Was he truly suffering from addiction and depression, or was there something more nefarious at play? Meanwhile, the investigation into the death of the former Murdaugh housekeeper only added fuel to the fire. What had really happened on that fateful day in 2018? Was there foul play involved, or was it truly just a tragic accident? With each new development, the Murdaugh case only grew more complex and confusing. As the public continued to follow the story with bated breath, it remained unclear what would happen next. Would justice be served for the victims of the double homicide, or would the truth remain forever shrouded in mystery? Only time would tell, but one thing was for certain. The Murdaugh case was far from over, and the twists and turns were far from over. In October, Murdaugh was denied bond after facing new indictments that brought his total charges to a staggering 27. These charges include money laundering, forgery, and breach of trust with fraudulent intent. The allegations suggest that Murdaugh was involved in schemes to defraud victims and launder nearly $4.9 million. The charges also implicate Murdaugh in the exploitation of undocumented immigrants, further complicating an already fraught legal situation. As the news of Murdaugh's legal troubles continues to break, the public is left wondering what else could possibly come to light. But the saga only intensifies in December, when the Attorney General announces even more charges against Murdaugh, bringing the total to an astonishing 48 separate charges. These new charges include breach of trust, computer crimes, money laundering, and forgery, and implicate Murdaugh in a variety of unsavory activities. Among the victims of Murdaugh's alleged crimes are family friends, an undocumented immigrant, and a man involved in a car wreck. The extent of the alleged wrongdoing is staggering, and the impact on those affected is immeasurable. Meanwhile, Murdaugh remains held in the Richland County Jail, with his bond set at an eye-watering $7 million. In a rare public statement, Murdaugh claims that he was going through opiate withdrawal in September when he sought to have himself killed, and expresses a desire to deal with the charges appropriately. Alex Murdaugh, the South Carolina lawyer, seemed to be spiraling out of control as he faced a mounting list of charges and legal troubles in early 2022. In January, he was hit with a new indictment, adding 23 charges to the 48 he was already facing. This time, the charges related to breach of trust, fraud, and computer crimes. Just a few days later, the mother of a 19-year-old who died in a 2019 boat crash filed a lawsuit against Murdaugh's late wife and son's estates, and was soon joined by 2 survivors of the accident in their pursuit of justice. As the year progressed, things only seemed to get worse for Murdaugh. In March, he was indicted on 4 more charges, this time for a scheme to defraud insurance companies. And in May, he was hit with 4 additional charges related to financial misconduct. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more chaotic, state authorities announced in June that they had received permission to exhume the body of one of Murdaugh's former clients, Gloria Satterfield, in connection with an investigation into her death. It was a stunning turn of events that only added to the already bizarre and troubling story of the Murdaugh family. The courtroom was silent as the jury filed out to begin their deliberations on the fate of Alex Murdaugh. The tension was palpable as both the prosecution and defense had presented their final arguments, and everyone waited with bated breath to hear the verdict. 3 agonizing hours later, the jury reached a decision that sent shockwaves through the room. Guilty. Alex Murdaugh had been found guilty of the murder of Margaret and Paul, as well as 2 counts of possession of a weapon during a violent crime. The lead prosecutor, Creighton Waters, wasted no time in delivering a powerful message to those who think they can get away with heinous crimes. He declared that the truth will always come out and justice will always be served. The next day, Judge Clifton Newman sentenced Murdaugh to 2 consecutive life sentences and admonished him for his lack of remorse and honesty during the trial. Despite his vehement claims of innocence, Murdaugh's defense lawyers announced their intention to appeal the conviction. It seemed that this case was far from over, and the drama was far from done. The Beach family's wrongful death lawsuit against Murdaugh was set to go to trial in August, promising even more twists and turns in this sordid saga. As the courtroom emptied, one couldn't help but wonder what other secrets and lies would be uncovered as this case continued to unfold. Would justice be truly served, or would the truth be buried under layers of deception and manipulation? Only time would tell. The case of Alex Murdaugh is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power and privilege. It's a reminder that even the most powerful and influential people can be brought down by their own greed and deceit. The story is far from over, and the full truth about what really happened may never be known. But one thing is certain, the Murdaugh family's legacy has been forever tarnished, and their story will go down in history as one of the most shocking and scandalous legal dramas of our time.